right back at the beginning of her reign to the time of the accession in February 1952. And the exhibition focuses on the first portraits ever taken of Her Majesty at that time, displayed alongside the jewels that we see Her Majesty wearing in those portraits.
She wore that tiara again. The internet exploded. Royal insiders were shocked. One choice sparked absolute outrage, while another duchess secretly wore jewels worth more than the queen's. But here's the twisted part. The most jaw-dropping piece of the night survived a bloody revolution and a daring escape. Its dark history will leave you speechless. One royal broke all the rules and became the night's true winner.
So the photograph behind me by Dorothy Wilding, taken in that first, just 20 days after Her Majesty had become Queen, still in mourning for her father who had died on the 6th of February 1952. But this image was so vital, so important, because it would be used for the design of postage stamps.
Another made a decision so controversial, experts are still arguing about it. What you're about to discover will change how you see royal jewelry forever. I'm sure many of you have been following the recent American state visit to Windsor Castle. State receptions are always spectacular to watch. But for anyone who loves history, the real story often unfolds in the jewelry choices. This particular evening was no exception. Behind all that sparkle were centuries of history, fascinating debates, and some very deliberate personal messages. The choices made by Queen Camilla and the Princess of Wales with their tiaras sparked quite a reaction among royal watchers. Some pieces became talking points for days afterward, and one royal lady quietly stole the show, without most people even noticing. Each piece of jewelry told its own story. And when you understand the history behind them, the entire event takes on a completely different meaning. Our story actually begins well before the evening banquet, during the formal welcome ceremony earlier in the day. This is always where the first subtle messages get sent. When the royal ladies stepped out into the Windsor daylight, their outfit choices seemed carefully coordinated to reflect diplomacy. Queen Camilla wore a beautiful royal blue ensemble, while the Princess of Wales chose a rich cranberry color. These shades were widely seen as a thoughtful nod to the flags of both nations involved in the visit. Queen Camilla arrived wearing a royal blue coat by Fiona Clare, one of her preferred designers. The coat itself was elegant and perfectly appropriate for the occasion. But what immediately caught everyone's attention was the spectacular brooch pinned to her coat. This was the Russian sapphire and diamond brooch, and it carries one of the most dramatic histories of any piece in the royal collection. This brooch originally belonged to Empress Marie Fyodorovna of Russia. She was born a Danish princess and happened to be the sister of Britain's Queen Alexandra. The brooch features a large oval sapphire surrounded by intricate gold filigree work and a halo of diamonds. In historical portraits of the Empress, you can spot this sapphire among her many other jewels. The story of how this brooch survived is remarkable. After the Russian Revolution, the Dowager Empress managed to escape the country and took some of her most precious jewels with her. Following her death in 1928, her daughters sold several pieces from her collection. Queen Mary, who was known for her passion for collecting royal jewels, purchased this brooch. It was a fitting acquisition since it brought a treasure from the Empress into the British royal family, which was actually her own sister's family. The brooch became a particular favorite of the Queen Mother, who wore it regularly for more than 50 years before it passed to Queen Elizabeth II. Now we see it being worn by Queen Camilla, who has shown a clear preference for pieces that were beloved by the Queen Mother. This creates a meaningful personal connection across multiple generations. The brooch wasn't the only sapphire on display that day. Queen Camilla also wore a pair of sapphire and diamond clip earrings. These earrings feature a dark blue sapphire surrounded by a modern sunburst-style diamond cluster. The design looks remarkably similar to a very famous pair of earrings from the Saudi sapphire suite that was gifted to Diana, Princess of Wales, for her wedding. The resemblance is so strong that it immediately sparked debate among jewelry enthusiasts about whether they could possibly be the same pair. The evidence suggests they are probably not the same earrings. For one thing, Diana had pierced ears, while Camilla does not. While it's certainly possible to convert earrings from one style to another, Camilla has not been seen wearing pieces that were previously worn by royal ladies with pierced ears. Additionally, Diana kept the Saudi sapphires after her divorce, and those particular jewels have only been seen on her daughters-in-law since then. A more plausible explanation is that Camilla's earrings are a similar but separate pair. Some experts believe they might be part of a sapphire set that was gifted to her during a visit to Saudi Arabia in 2006. Without official confirmation from the palace, the exact origin remains uncertain. But the similarity to Diana's famous earrings certainly made them a topic of conversation. The Princess of Wales also wore a historically significant piece during the daytime ceremony. She looked impeccable in her dark cranberry ensemble, complemented by a pair of diamond and ruby cluster drop earrings that perfectly matched the rich tones of her outfit. But the real statement piece was the brooch pinned to her dress. Queen Alexandra's 3 feathers brooch. This brooch is far more than just a beautiful accessory. It's essentially a badge of office, traditionally worn by the woman married to the Prince of Wales. The piece was created in 1863 by the royal jeweler Gerard as a wedding gift for Princess Alexandra of Denmark. It was funded by a group called the Ladies of North Wales, who raised money by subscription to welcome their new princess. The design itself is the heraldic badge of the Prince of Wales. It features 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon below bearing the motto, Ich diene, which translates from German as, I serve. It's a powerful statement, especially when you consider the symbolism. Princess Diana was known to love this piece, though she often wore it as a pendant on a necklace rather than as a brooch. Camilla also wore it occasionally during her time as Duchess of Cornwall, though it never became one of her signature pieces. Now we see Catherine wearing it, connecting herself to a long tradition of women who have held the title of Princess of Wales. Catherine first wore this brooch publicly in November 2022, just 2 months after receiving her new title. The timing and choice were significant. By wearing this particular piece, she was making a clear statement about accepting not just a piece of jewelry, but a role, a responsibility, and a promise of service. For those who understand royal symbolism, it was as clear as any official announcement. These daytime jewelry choices were carefully considered and rich with meaning, but they were really just setting the stage for what was to come. The true jewelry spectacle, with all its glittering magnificence and surprising controversies, would unfold later that evening when the state banquet began at Windsor Castle. The daytime ceremony gave us a preview of the thoughtful approach each royal lady takes to her jewelry choices. But the evening would reveal the full extent of the royal collection's treasures, and the debates that continue to surround how these historic pieces are worn today. As the grand doors of St. George's Hall opened and guests took their places for the evening banquet, the atmosphere was electric with anticipation. State banquets are always magnificent events, but there are certain moments that go beyond formal pageantry and become truly unforgettable. The entrance of the Princess of Wales was exactly one of those moments. Her gown was a stunning creation by British designer Philippa Lepley, someone Catherine has turned to for important occasions before. The dress consisted of a gold lace evening coat layered over a silk gown, creating a dramatic and regal effect that was perfectly suited for such a significant event. She wore it with her sash and star of the Royal Victorian Order, along with the royal family orders. The overall look was that of a future queen, commanding and elegant. But as beautiful as the gown was, it was the royal heirloom she wore with it that really told the evening's story. At her ears sparkled the Queen's diamond frame earrings, a particularly elegant pair featuring diamond cluster studs with graduated diamond pendants suspended from them, all surrounded by delicate diamond frames. These earrings have an impressive royal history. They first appeared on Queen Elizabeth II at the state opening of Parliament in 2012. Catherine has been wearing these earrings since 2016, when she first borrowed them from the Royal Collection for the Place to Be Awards. They've become one of her go-to pieces over the years, and it's easy to see why. They strike a perfect balance between substantial and sophisticated, adding just the right amount of sparkle without being overwhelming. There's something satisfying about watching these earrings continue their journey through the royal family, moving seamlessly from one generation to the next. The true showstopper of the evening was the tiara on her head, the lover's knot. tiara is one of those pieces that seems almost impossibly beautiful. The design features 19 diamond lover's knots, each one suspending a perfect pear-shaped pearl that moves with the wearer, creating an enchanting dance of light and shadow. This magnificent piece has quite an interesting origin story. In 1913, Queen Mary was admiring a particular tiara called the Cambridge Lover's Knot, tiara, that belonged to her aunt, the Grand Duchess of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. Since she couldn't acquire the original, she commissioned the royal jeweler Gerard to create a new version for her. The story really captures Queen Mary's personality. If she admired a jewel, she found a way to have it one way or another. The new tiara was made using diamonds and pearls that were already in Mary's collection. In its original form, it was even more elaborate than what we see today. It was topped with a row of large upright pearls that had previously sat on another famous piece, the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Queen Mary later had those top pearls removed, giving the tiara a slightly more delicate silhouette, though it remained an imposing piece. After Queen Mary died, the tiara passed to her granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth II. But its modern story really began in 1981, when the Queen offered it to her new daughter-in-law, Diana, Princess of Wales. In Diana's hands, it became more than just a royal heirloom. It became a global symbol, recognized and loved around the world. After Diana's death, this spectacular jewel disappeared from public view for nearly 20 years, waiting for a new princess to wear it again. That moment came in December 2015, when the then Duchess of Cambridge arrived at the annual diplomatic reception wearing it. Since that debut, the Lover's Knot tiara has become Catherine's signature piece. It's the tiara we see her wearing more than any other, which has sparked an interesting debate among royal watchers. There have been reports over the years that Diana found the tiara heavy, and that the swinging pearls gave her headaches. This is supposedly why she often chose to wear her family's lighter Spencer tiara instead. Catherine, however, seems to wear it with complete ease. The weight clearly doesn't bother her, which suggests she's genuinely comfortable in this piece and has made it her own. This brings us to the heart of the debate. On one hand, there's a strong argument for consistency. By making this tiara her signature piece, Catherine is creating an instantly recognizable image for a future queen consort. She's linking herself to a powerful line of women: Queen Mary, who commissioned it, Queen Elizabeth II, who inherited it, and Diana, who made it world famous. It suits her beautifully, and there's definite strength in having a signature jewel. On the other hand, many devoted jewelry enthusiasts have expressed quiet frustration with this predictability. After every state banquet, the same question appears in comments and discussions: why always the Lover's Knot? The British royal vaults contain one of the greatest jewelry collections in the world, filled with treasures that haven't been seen in generations. Many people remember her single stunning appearance in the delicate Strathmore Rose tiara and would love to see it again. Others hope she might surprise everyone by choosing something truly legendary that has remained hidden from public view for decades. While the Princess of Wales wore pale gold, Queen Camilla made an equally powerful but very different statement. As the host of the evening, she radiated authority and regal presence in a deep, majestic royal blue gown. The gown itself was beautiful, providing the perfect backdrop for the incredible jewels she had chosen. One fascinating detail that many people missed was the magnificent bracelets on her wrists. She wore a stack of 3 spectacular Art Deco bracelets from Cartier. There were 2 all-diamond bracelets and a 3rd set with diamonds and rich blue sapphires that perfectly matched her gown and tiara. These bracelets have a touching family history. Between 1923 and 1925, the then Duke of York, who would later become King George VI, gave these bracelets one by one to his bride, the Duchess of York, who became the beloved Queen Mother. They were Christmas and birthday presents, building a precious personal collection over time. The complete set actually includes 5 bracelets, 2 with diamonds and 1 each with rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. What many people don't know is that in the 1920s, Cartier created a special frame that allowed 3 of these bracelets to be worn together across the forehead as a fashionable bandeau tiara. It perfectly captured the spirit of the Jazz age, and the young Duchess was photographed wearing it this way several times. While the frame may still exist somewhere in the vaults, the bandeau style is very much of its time, so it's unlikely we'll see it worn that way again. As fashions changed, the bracelets returned to being worn on the wrist. They eventually passed to Queen Elizabeth II, who wore them for decades, and now they've found a new home with Queen Camilla. The tiara Queen Camilla chose for the evening was the Belgian sapphire tiara, a piece she's clearly grown fond of since becoming queen. Like many fascinating royal jewels, this one has a colorful past and wasn't originally a tiara at all. It began as a magnificent sapphire and diamond necklace belonging to Princess Louise of Belgium in the 19th century. Princess Louise led a dramatic life and had significant financial troubles, which eventually led to her jewels being sold. The necklace disappeared for a while before reappearing in 1963, when Queen Elizabeth II purchased it. She needed a sapphire tiara to coordinate with the beautiful suite of sapphires her father, King George VI, had given her as a wedding present. The necklace was mounted on a frame and has been worn exclusively as a tiara ever since. For Queen Camilla, this piece has become significant in her new royal wardrobe and was one of the first major tiaras she wore as queen. However, like the debate around Catherine's tiara choice, this selection also sparked conversation. Many had hoped to see something different, perhaps something that would pair more harmoniously with the true star of her ensemble, which was undoubtedly her necklace. The necklace in question was the legendary Greville festoon necklace, one of the crown jewels from one of the most famous bequests in royal history. It came to the royal family from Dame Margaret Greville, a prominent society hostess who, upon her death in 1942, left the majority of her magnificent jewelry collection to her friend, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. The jewels arrived in a simple black trunk, but inside was a treasure trove of diamonds, emeralds, and rubies. The full extent of that collection has never been publicly revealed. This necklace is arguably the most impressive piece from that bequest. It's a masterpiece from Cartier with a clever secret. It's actually 2 separate necklaces that can be worn together to create one monumental 5-row diamond cascade. The first 2-row section was made in 1929, and the smaller 3-row section was added in 1938. For this banquet, the Queen chose to wear the slightly more restrained 3-row version, and even in this form, the effect was absolutely stunning. There was one more hidden treasure in Queen Camilla's ensemble. Pinned discreetly to the back of her garter sash was one of Queen Victoria's diamond bar brooches. Victoria commissioned this 10-diamond piece specifically for her garter insignia, first wearing it as 2 separate clips before having them combined into a single 2-row brooch. What makes this small jewel truly extraordinary is its special status. Queen Victoria designated it an heirloom of the crown, a special title meaning it passes directly from monarch to monarch. It belongs not to the individual but to the institution itself. The brooch was worn by Queen Alexandra, and then frequently by the Queen Mother. Upon her death in 2002, it passed to Queen Elizabeth II. This leads to an interesting detail that often confuses people. The late Queen was never seen wearing this particular 10-diamond brooch. Instead, she preferred a similar but larger 14-diamond bar brooch that may also have belonged to Queen Victoria. That second brooch was famously worn by Queen Mary and became the one Queen Elizabeth II preferred for her own garter sash. So by wearing the 10-diamond version, Queen Camilla was continuing a tradition while also bringing a true heirloom of the crown back into public view for the first time in a generation. Moving beyond the grand statements made by the Queen and the Princess of Wales, we should talk about another remarkable royal lady who has always played by her own rules, the Princess Royal. Princess Anne's presence at any state banquet is appreciated by those who value character and consistency. She arrived in a vintage evening jacket and skirt from her own wardrobe. While some might consider her style dated, For Anne, it's a deliberate statement about her practical nature, her lack of concern for fleeting trends, and her strong sense of self. The jewels she chose were just as unique as her personality. On her head was the aquamarine pine flower tiara, one of the more unusual and artistic pieces in the collection. This beautiful creation from Cartier has a wonderful family history. It was commissioned by her grandfather, King George VI, as a wedding anniversary present for her grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. The design is quite distinctive, featuring pine cone-inspired elements, often called pine flowers, interspersed with large emerald-cut aquamarines. The Queen Mother wore it occasionally after the war, but it never seemed to become one of her favorites. In 1973, she passed it to her granddaughter, Princess Anne, as a wedding gift. But here's where the story gets really interesting, and very typical of the practical princess. The tiara we see on Anne's head today is not quite the same one her grandmother received from Cartier years ago. True to her no-nonsense character, Princess Anne decided to make alterations. She had the tiara's frame adjusted with the sides shortened to better suit her, which is a fairly common modification. But she didn't stop there. She also had the large central pine flower element completely removed, replacing it with one of the rectangular aquamarines to create a slightly smaller, more streamlined piece. So what happened to that beautiful central piece? It certainly didn't get stored away unused. In a move that perfectly captures Princess Anne's practical nature, it was repurposed. At the banquet, she wore a magnificent aquamarine and diamond brooch, and that brooch is the original centerpiece of the tiara. She had it converted so it could be worn separately, ensuring that every part of her grandmother's gift could be used and enjoyed. She often wears it with the rest of her aquamarine suite, including a pendant that many believe was also created from leftover elements of the original tiara. Nothing goes to waste with Princess Anne. Finally, we come to the royal lady who, for many experienced jewelry watchers, was the undisputed star of the evening. While the Queen and Princess of Wales rightfully capture headlines, there's special joy in observing the quiet, confident mastery of Birgit, the Duchess of Gloucester. Her appearance at the banquet was spectacular. She possesses one of the most significant private collections of royal jewels, and more importantly, she wears them with unmatched creativity and style. For this event, she chose a beautiful blue evening gown that served as the perfect backdrop for a truly dazzling array of diamonds. Her tiara was her magnificent signature piece, Queen Mary's honeysuckle tiara. This is another masterpiece that originated in Queen Mary's collection, commissioned in 1914. It's a stunning diamond frame of interlaced honeysuckle motifs in a classic and regal design. The true genius of this tiara, and something Queen Mary was brilliant at commissioning, is its versatility. The large central element is interchangeable. Over the years, it has been seen with several different centerpieces. Originally, it could even hold the famous Cullinan Fèvre diamond. Today, the Duchess has 3 spectacular options: a diamond honeysuckle element, which she chose for this banquet, a magnificent faceted pink gem believed to be kunzite, and a deep green cabochon emerald. The Duchess has worn it in all its variations over her many years of service. But this transformative tiara was only the beginning. The Duchess of Gloucester demonstrated true jewelry mastery with what she did next. If you looked closely at her neckline, you would have noticed a pair of stunning diamond clip brooches perfectly placed to accent her gown. They looked magnificent, as if designed specifically to be worn that way. And they were, but not as brooches. These brilliant clips are actually another part of a tiara from her collection. They're elements from her beautiful Art Deco diamond and emerald bandeau, a wedding gift to her mother-in-law, Princess Alice. She also wore 2 magnificent diamond rivieres, one with a floral pendant and a delightful stack of pearl and diamond bracelets on both wrists. Her entire ensemble was a masterclass in how to wear grand jewelry with joy, confidence, and brilliant inventive spirit. For those who appreciate the art and history of these pieces, the Duchess of Gloucester truly brought the magic, proving that sometimes the quietest presence shines the brightest. So what did this magnificent evening really show us? Each royal lady spoke in her own unique jewelry language. For some, it was about consistency and building a recognizable image. For others, it was about creativity and making the most of what you have. This evening proved once again that behind every gemstone lies a story, and behind every choice lies character. The true magic of the British Royal Jewelry Collection isn't just its beauty, but its ability to connect us across generations and reveal the personalities of those who wear these extraordinary pieces.